There was night before Christmas, dark and then dawn. In bygone days, before the blaze would ignite, there was a spectacular eve before the light. That Caesar, Augustus, who made a decree, he was considered a deity. He was Son of God, Savior and Lord. He awed his followers with deeds of renown, cutting down thousands who would oppose his crown. He died and rose from the ground to the stars to join Jupiter and Mars, godding around. Speaking of Mars, he begat this town. In one heavenly caper, the god of war came down to a virgin to rape her. Her name was Rhea. When the gods appear, they unsheath their spear. These divinities do not forgive but commit great sins. Rhea gave birth to twins, Romulus and Remus. And as was the custom, the family thrust them out to die, unwanted, disposed, exposed, supposed to rot. These two, forgotten by men, were raised by wolves, each one a wild child. But without their mother, they turned on each other, brother on brother, the weaker reviled and killed. The victor, Romulus, would build this place of ancient lore, Rome, eternal city, born of murder, born of rape, born of war. There was night before Christmas. Now picture Rome in full flow, the Colosseum, a giant game show. 60,000 would attend to see, for instance, two victims bound at each end of a towering seesaw, one high, one on the floor. And then release the beasts and let the games begin. The one below would spring from the floor to soar from the fray as the crowd bayed for blood, till thud, the friend on the other end would sink beneath claws and teeth and savage jaws that grasped and tore. The men seesawed in blood and gore while multitudes roar. Squid Game was real in days of yore. But there was more. As a gruesome encore, a bull is released to feast on a girl stripped bare, exposed to the glare of the gleeful disdain. But before she's slain, she endures the shame of a bestial encounter. The bull was trained to mount her, while the crowd gape. The spectacle was designed to ape the behavior of the gods, who would take the shape of a beast and then rape who they pleased. That bull, if you like, was a priest, a sign of the divine. When the gods appear, all should fear. And off at the rear, a dozen crosses, severe, with their victims pinned like dissected frogs, skin writhing sheer against the logs, desperate for breath. This was the slave's death, an agony uniquely saved for the millions of minions that slaved to maintain the empire's business. It was night before Christmas. Now picture Christians preaching Emmanuel here. God with us, good tidings of Christmas cheer. The news that heaven had volunteered for this murder, this war, this rape, this gore, to endure immeasurable loss, to dwell among the dross, to be found upon a cross. When this tale resounds, how do you think it sounds? Stupid? Vile? Insane. It was disdained by all who strove to fearful heights above, but down below was birthed belief. The highest has stooped in love. When this God appears, he comes to draw near and to commandeer this world encurled with fear and greed and hate and need. It's this world he shouldered, enfolded, and remolded anew. And through the night, and then Christmas, a revolution was dawning. A happy Christmas to all, and to all, a good morning.